bet for their Wembley debut. They were only 7th in the league, but surprised in the playoffs, and their coach, Pete Johnson, hopes that that is going to continue. His opening attacking line is made up by his 3 sons, Stephen, Sean and Anthony. So we'll have to wait to see how the Panther supporters react to Dan Dorian, who was released by Nottingham in December. That had nothing to do with Kevin Murphy, the current coach, because he didn't take over until January. And since then, Panthers have won 17 of 23 league and playoff matches. He too starts with a home attacking line: Perkins, Webber and young Ashley Tate. The referee for this second semi-final is Kari Avala of Finland. Seahawks in black, Panthers in white. Two Canadians on defensive patrol for the Seahawks, and 1 Canadian for Panthers. Bishop, who whips it round the boards, comes out kindly to Lambert. Break on the right side. Anthony Johnson's number 12. 10 is Stephen Johnson, and 8 is Sean Johnson. You've got a 1 in 5 chance of getting the goal scorer right with this lineup if you say Johnson. And here is Johnson, Stephen. And the shot from distance was by Mike Bishop. Important, I think, that the Seahawks make a good start here, Paul.
They have a very stylish side. I'll let you finish this off. Well, they have a stylish side, a quick break. They've got some good passing, whereas you're going to see with the Nottingham Panthers, they're bumpers and grinders out there. They really like to wrestle in the corners. They like to fight for every puck. Not as pretty as the Seahawks, but they both get the job done.
Chase in by Ashley Tate. And Simon Perkins following up. And a little bit of push and shove going on. Mike Bishop making his presence felt. Knocked down a few pawns.
Bishop is a big boy. Watch for him going forward. The Seahawks are going to plant number 4 in front of the goal as soon as they get the opportunity. I have a feeling this guy is going to play both forward and defense today. Once he's in front of the net, he's tough to dislodge.
Big lad from Sarnia, Ontario. Dale Lambert, he comes from Saskatoon. Here's Duncan King. Terry Kurtenbach, number 9. Simon Hunt. Needs only a couple of goals to equal his playoff tally of last season when Panthers were the runners-up. Kurtenbach won't get through there, but the good follow-up by Hunt. McNaught tries to get him and does, in a manner of speaking. Comes down again. Seahawks way. Dan Dorian. A little bit of hooking going on from Moria, and the first shot from Dan Dorian finishes way in the crowd.
And the first penalty from the Finnish referee. Hooking is the call. Moria hooking Dorian. Well, that looked innocent enough to me, but the call is hooking. Let's take a look at this. Well, nothing too serious out there, but the Finnish referee is stamping his authority right in the first 3 minutes of play.
It's a surprising first statistic. A 2-minute penalty to Steve Moria, who was brought into the side for Nottingham when Chris Cullen returned from the hugely successful performance by Britain in Pool B of the World Ice Hockey Championship. He came back injured, and they were allowed to sign Steve Moria. In fact, he's the boss at Blackburn these days. Oh, that could have been a bit embarrassing for Ian Young. Seems to have got away with that. Came rather curiously back off the boards. Mistake by Lambert. But defensemen can make mistakes in that place on the ice. Netminders prefer not to around their own crease. Little touch back to Lambert. Johnson coming in on the right. There's a bit of a switch of line because Johnson is on with Dorian here. 2 of the Johnsons and Dan Dorian, centre ice between them. minute remaining on the penalty. Of course, they've got the extra man. That's why they've done that. Can't see for the moment whether the third Johnson is out there. No, I don't think he is. Bishop is pushing forward here. As Paul Ferguson suggested he would. No icing, of course. It didn't run that far anyway. Still the seconds ticking away. Under 40 now left on the first power play of the second semi-final. Here's AD trying to get round the back. It's Dan Dorian, I beg your pardon. Bishop with the shot, and he's wide. Couldn't be collected.
You're going to see Kevin Murphy, the coach of Nottingham, throwing out the youngsters against the big imports for the Seahawks. He really doesn't have any respect for any players out there. He'll play everyone on his bench, which is encouraging. Another penalty coming up.
And against Dan Dorian, I believe. He seemed to me to get his counter in first.
And just after the whistle, big Graham Waghorn, one of the top Great Britain defensemen, goes in and shows that he can muscle. He's facing Dale Lambert, who's just picked up his British passport, and he's looking forward to playing for the GB team next year. Look at the size of Bishop against these guys. When the camera goes in close, he towers over everyone out there. Penalties all around. And this is where it gets physical. A lot of hooking. Curtain back goes in. A big grab on curtain back. Oh, that can hurt.
Odlin looking for the flick in. They had a man by the far post. Hunt. Two coincidental penalties have come to an end, but they have to wait for the whistle to go before they're allowed back on the ice. It's not going to go yet. Doesn't actually make any difference to the number of players on the ice. The reason that they have to wait for the whistle to blow, if they came on, there would be too many on the ice. AD, back to Moria. Oh, he delayed that nicely, and then found the spot beautifully under the catching arm of Frank Killen. But the delay was significant in that. Moria opens the scoring with his 9th goal in the playoff competition.
Moria could not believe his luck here. He took over the point position because Odlin had gone forward. He faked the first shot. No one came to get him, so he walked in, and this guy has a bullet of a shot. He may be 32 years old, but he can still let him fly. Look at this, he's allowed to walk right in, and that was right in the top corner. Killen cannot get up to this one.
Bishop back on the point this side. Making room. Two in front. One wide on the left. This is Dan Dorian. Fancies the shot. And he made the right decision. So he scores against his old club.
Ian Young really hasn't been tested from inside the circle, right on the dot. Dorian winds up, takes the wrist shot, looks for a space and finds it. Power play goal. The goaltender way back in his cage, got to be out, got to cut down that angle. No one went to get Dorian.
Two shots on goal. He's been beaten by one of them. Conversation going on as those who aren't involved look on in. Simpson in conversation with linesman Branch. Dorian again at the face-off. Simpson is behind. Took a very funny bounce off the ice. Somebody's dug a blade in there and made a bit of a hole. Here's King. Now Curtin back. Good, solid checking on the red line. Dorian just takes that one away as Duncan King thought it might be his, and he tries to go through between the two defensemen and the boards. There's a little bit of follow-up with Randall Webber. That's a rather loose clearance. It's going to come back again. It's stuck in the defensive end at Nottingham. Andy Steele trying to get it across. Plexiglass being pressed a little bit. It's a bit solid on this side. Carvo trying to make the way through. Now that should be the end of it. Panthers coming out, looking for the pass down the ice. Very, very well intercepted. Then given away. And the man who made the interception, Simpson, can go back and collect. Well, he can't, you know. Carville. Back again to Kurtenbach. That's a little bit untidy. Blocked by Simpson. He's getting involved in everything here. Some good, some not so good. Dorian. Switched around to Johnson. And up comes Lambert. Here's Johnson. Good save against Stephen Johnson.
Stephen and Anthony Johnson combining out there, the old give and go, coming in from a sharp angle on Young, but Young comes out nicely to cut down the angle. The two Johnsons working in the shot, going for just below the crossbar, and the goalie brings it down.
Shot was wide, comfortably so, from Killen's point of view. Simon Hunt for Nottingham Panthers. Looks to get the return, and might. Got it off Terry Kurtenbach, but out come the Seahawks. Nice little poke of the stick then by Odelin, kept it in the Seahawks end, but for no longer. One-on-one, the chase is Anthony Johnson. Waghorn is equal to that. We come to the last 5 minutes of the first period. Winding up is Paul Adey. It's good pace there. And he's in for support. If it's needed, it's across the face. And really, they should have made more of that. Man in possession was Odelin. Now Sean Johnson. Odelin back to dispossess him. Enjoying the big ice, the big fella. That came off a little kindly. And icing called.
Odelin at one end of the rink sets up a beautiful opportunity for the Panthers. Goes right open, there's no one to tip it in. The Seahawks break down the other end of the rink, and this guy comes back to break it up. Odelin skating all over the ice like you would expect.
Power play for the Seahawks. There's Pete Johnson. Scored 1 from 3 at the moment. Their goal was a power play goal, scored by Dorian at 7:55. We have another goal since then. That was the equaliser. Came very curiously off the boards. And they've got a man in front who can't make it count. That was Nigel Rhodes.
Some weird and wonderful bounces off the plexi and the woodwork here in Wembley. Rhodes is left all alone. The pass comes over. Weber getting the backhander. Rhodes, I think, didn't appreciate how much time he had. Number 6, Simpson, was chasing, and he kept the puck along the ice with the goaltender already committed once again.
13 seconds remaining. 1-1 the score, so unless there's a quick draw here by Panthers, that's the way it's going to stay at the end of the first 20 minutes. Steele on 80. North invited to leave it. Instead, the big Bishop comes in against Moria. Well won. That's a good save by Frankie Killen.
I really can't stress how important it is to take the face-off and win it. Moria is an artist. He's really adept at winning the face-off. On that occasion, he took it right from the spot. Watch this. Over to Hunt. Hunt turns around and lets the slap shot go, but Killen is equal to it.
He's out again, but not kept in at the Seahawks end. And the last shot of the first period is the Panthers shot. But each side ends the first 20 minutes with 1 goal to the good. It's 1-1 at the end of the first period. And 1-1 by the Humberside Seahawks as we start the second period. Seahawks with a reputation for inconsistency. They're the only team to manage to win twice at Cardiff, the league winners, and already waiting in the final of the playoffs. And yet, against the two relegated teams, Durham and Peterborough, managed to only take 6 points in the 6 matches against them. Panthers now attacking the goal to our right in this middle period. Away by Bishop, one of the many to play well in the first period. This is Johnson. That's Johnson as well. Stephen DeShawn. A bit of a pull down. Whoops. And I think that a high sticking penalty is going to be called.
Waghorn and Sean Johnson having a go at each other. The slash first by Sean Johnson. Waghorn then gets his stick up, and they both end up on the ice in the neutral zone.
It's the 6th power play for the Humberside Seahawks. Panthers have only had 2. Only one of the previous 5, of course, has been successful. And more work here for Summer Odlin. McNaught. Sean Johnson out to the right, Stephen down the left. Beg your pardon, Anthony down the left. Now moves across. And Dorian goes in. Good save. And then he's taken out behind. And another call, and they're not happy about this, Panthers.
The Panthers are losing it out there. Waghorn was caught for slashing. And he'll have to watch his P's and Q's out there, because he could stay a lot longer in there. This Finnish referee is not taking any back chat from the players.
A little bit quiet, no real pattern of this second period after a good first period.
It's difficult for the Panthers to string anything together. They've continuously had somebody in the box. They're going to have to settle down and start throwing the puck around and playing hockey.
Bishop waiting back, somebody closer in. Chance of a 3-on-2 break. Odlin again. Star of the show so far for Panthers, Summer Odlin. This is good stick work. And good goalkeeping too by Frank Gillen. And the fact that the net came off its moorings then was quite costly, because Stephen Johnson was prepared to make the break. But what a good match this fella's having.
I always like to joke about defensemen when they get this far forward. They just don't know what to do. He knows what to do here. He takes on Dorian, who's not a defenseman, goes around like he's standing still. Dorian eventually gets the chop in at the last moment to break up the play. Watch Odlin. It's a 1-on-2 situation here. He isolates Dorian. He knows he doesn't want to go up against Bishop, who's used to that kind of thing.
Back at the other end come Seahawks. And Paul Adey is back for Panthers. It's evens out there. And Adey in with a chance here. Good play by Frank Gillen.
Excellent puck control by Adey. That was so close to being an offside. Watch this. Odlin feeds it through. He doesn't really see it until the last moment. Taps it forward. Gillen comes out nicely with the stick and breaks it up. Good move by Frankie. Good anticipation.
Still 1-1. Mario at the face-off. Webber behind, switches the other side, and curtain back shot. Gillen knocks it away and has to turn. Takes a long time to get back in the net. Moria goes in search of the puck. Webber unmarked. Oh, and it doesn't make it count. And Nottingham are at full strength. So they now have the man advantage. Moria, still Moria. Blocked twice. Now's a chance for Dan Dorian. No, he's not going to be able to collect that. Picked up by Paul Adey. Winds up, well dispossessed. Dan Dorian, 30 seconds of the Seahawks penalty left against Anthony Johnson. Waghorn almost loses it. He hasn't been on the ice too much of late. Makes it work then in the end. Adey nicely fed to Moria. Simon Hunt behind Moria. And Moria being taken out and also holding his opponent's stick, Lambert's stick, underneath his armpit, in his armpit. Both sides at full strength, and the shot doesn't yet come from Kurtenbach. No, it does, and it went off Bishop and away from the right-hand post of Frank Killen. An icing and a bit of respite.
A good lesson for youngsters out there when there are a lot of players in front of the net. Shoot the puck. Good fake here by Kurtenbach. Look at the players in front. There's always an opportunity for a tip, a screen, or a deflection. On that occasion, it came off of Bishop's skate and just missed the far post.
Johnson and Johnson waiting as Dan Dorian sits it out for a while. Oh, here's a chance for Moria. Good save. Blocked by the forearm on the catching side.
Good shot by Moria, but a great save by Frank Killen. He's coming up big several times.
Lambert can go in and chase. 80 goes to look for it. They haven't got it away yet, Seahawks. Both sides changing on the fly. Oh, and that's in. He didn't see that at all, Frank Killen, and Ashley Tate puts Nottingham in front.
Another power play goal. All the goals have been scored on the power play. Tate fakes the first shot, lets it go. Frankie Killen doesn't even move. He's still looking for the shot to come. No reaction from the goaltender. He's got traffic in front of him. He's way back in his net. He should be out a bit further. And that's a goal for Tate.
He's 17 years old, Ashley Tate. We were talking in the first semi-final about Tony Hand being the best British player. Arguably, this fella has the talent to follow on that line. Both sides, of course, now back at full strength. When the goal's scored, you come back to full strength. You've paid your due. Chase in for Weber. These are crucial moments, I feel, for Humberside Seahawks. It could all go away from them here if they're not careful. Carville, that's a good break. This is Dorian, looking to see who's around. Played it neatly, but McNaught couldn't get in because Perkins was making sure he was skating towards the corner. Didn't want to go that way, but he was taken there. Kurtenbach. Weber from Perkins, if he can get it across, but he can't. Suddenly the pace has increased a bit. The puck easily playable with skate or stick, and it comes out just away from the stick of Terry Kurtenbach. 2-on-2 break here, now 3-on-2. McNaught didn't make the pass. 10 to McNaught. Here's Simon Hunt. Player far side is 80. Came in, didn't get the finish. There's been a lot of that. Now a chance. Johnson going in and scores quite beautifully, Stephen Johnson. It's tied again. This time it's tied at 2. Really good comeback by Humberside Seahawks.
McNaught looks across the ice, finds Johnson out there in perfect position. The fake of the shot, in on the backhand side, and that's in the back of the net.
Here's Bishop. Lambert, and it got a deflection. And I think it was Anthony Johnson. Seahawks lead for the first time, and Anthony Johnson the scorer.
Bishop gets it over. Lambert just flips it in. He sees traffic there. Johnson jumps up. The deflection changes the way the puck goes into the net. Young probably would have had that had it come directly down from the shooter.
So the top scorer during the league season for Humberside Seahawks. 38 goals, 31 assists for 69 points. Here's Odlin. And a Again prepared to build from the back, and that might be costly. Johnson, a feedback. What a good piece of play by Paul Adey that got Odlin out of jail. We're into the last minute of the second period. So they haven't got it out. And here's Bishop, and here's Dorian, and that's another goal. They never really cleared it. Adey saved them on the first occasion, but they picked it up from there, and Dorian makes it his second goal and a 2-goal advantage.
Big Bishop at the other end of the rink was blocking shots for Frankie Killen. He then goes down the rink and sets up this goal like a forward. Watch this, a little drop pass. Who could think a defenseman would do that? Dorian doesn't waste it, pops it in the back of the net. This is how the goaltender sees it. A difficult one for the youngster. All-important face-off here. I don't think Dorian is the man to take it. He's a great playmaker, a good winger, but he's not a good center.
Steve Moria came away. 10 seconds left as Bishop starts them off again, but they're not going to go too far, just keep possession. And the hooter goes. And 4-2 is the score. And on all 4 goals and assists has come from this fellow, Mike Bishop. The Seahawks lead 4-2 going into the last period. But now with 8 minutes and 6 seconds left of the match, Mike Bishop is one of 2 Seahawks sitting it out in the penalty box as we go live to the final period. There's been a delay of nearly 14 minutes because a piece of plexiglass came out. And this is an opportunity which Nottingham Panthers just have to take. There's been no addition to the score. Under 8 minutes left in the period. They've got a 2-man advantage, Nottingham Panthers. Winners here in '89, runners-up last season, offside call.
Barry, it'll be interesting to see who that break affects the most out there. The Humberside Seahawks were having a great third period. They were all over the ice. They were controlling the play. All of a sudden, the action stopped. It slowed them right down. The Panthers have a 2-man advantage. They've got the momentum now. Will it turn their way?
Well, for a long time, they were affected by a goal which was overruled. Seemed to be a score for Simon Perkins, but the goal came off its moorings. The puck looked to us to have crossed the line before the goal came off, but that wasn't the way the goal judge and the referee saw it. So there's still a 2-goal disadvantage to make up. Panthers in possession, an offside call. Odlin, 2 lines, according to the linesman.
That was a close call. The pass, according to the linesman, originated on the Panthers side of the blue line and was picked up on the Humberside Seahawks side of the red line.
Major difference between this contest and the first semi-final. This has been nip and tuck all the way through. It's been a good, strong physical contest. Not all that has been started has been finished. There have been opportunities which have gone away. Both men in the nets have played well. And there's been some good defending out there, which there is at the moment by the Seahawks. No impression so far made by the Panthers of this 2-man advantage. 5 playing 3. Number 5 here is Selma Odlin, who's had a super match. But he's in danger of finishing on the losing side. They're trying to find a man out, trying to draw one from the diamond in front of them out. And one player back is Big Mike Bishop. Now there's a bit of an opening. Odlin, still the power play 5-on-4 this time. Here's Odlin. And it's in! Got a little touch, I think, maybe, from Paul Adey.
Yet another power play goal in this game, set up by Odlin, tipped in by Adey. I was just about to say that the Nottingham Panthers were forcing these power play situations. They weren't taking the right amount of time. On this occasion, it's whipped around by Odlin. Look at this, right on the stick of Adey. Adey, all he has to do is direct it into the open corner past Frankie Killen. Hunt is taken out of the play, but the goal scorer, Adey, is there to direct it home.
So it's 4-3, which was the position the last time these two sides met. And the advantage then was with the Seahawks, but they lost it 6-4. Then there was 7 minutes to play. Now there's 6.5. Seahawks, their first appearance at Wembley. 80. Double assist on the goal. Webber getting the second. Odelin the first, of course. He was the one who supplied the pass. There was nearly another there. Good blocking by Frank Killen. Johnson back to Bishop. It was Stephen Johnson. 6 minutes to go. Bishop just plays it in. Kurtenbach comes to collect for Nottingham Panthers. Down this near side is Simon Hunt in possession now, number 13. Shot from distance and it had some power in it. Away by Johnson. And an icing call. Clock stops again. 5:43 left. 1 goal between the teams.
Nottingham certainly look refreshed after that long break, Barry. They're starting to string the passes together. They're getting a bit more physical. They're getting back into their game. And it looks like the Seahawks are starting to chase, something they haven't done throughout the entire game.
And that in spite of the fact that they were twice behind at 1-0 and at 2-1. Came back to lead 4-2. It's now 4-3. And here's Perkins. And here's Webber. Can't get the shot in. Ashley Tate can't use his stick because somebody's holding on to it. Played out by Paul Simpson. Good solid check by Terry Kurtenbach. Ashley Tate didn't take it. Nobody chasing it in for the Seahawks. Kurtenbach. Panthers making all the plays. That's a really good pass. This is Tate. Oh, and he came off the post, and then the rebound in, and it's Salman Odelin ties it at 4. Good play by Ashley Tate. There were options on for him because Perkins was up on the attack as well, and Salman Odelin, the defenseman who's done so much attacking, was in the right place at the right time.
Good pressure here from the Panthers. Killen goes down. This puck lies in the crease, then out of the crease, and the big Canadian defenseman, drafted by the Edmonton Oilers, comes up to tap it in. That'll be the easiest goal he'll ever score.
And one that he can tell his brother about, maybe, his brother having played here for the Montreal Canadiens, which we saw on grandstand at the start of the season against the Chicago Blackhawks. Brother made it in the NHL, Soma didn't quite. So, few seconds over 5 minutes left. Oh, that's turned away almost straight to the stick of Hunt. Inside the final 5 minutes of this second semi-final for the right to meet Cardiff in the final. Johnson, both the Johnsons, Stephen and Antine, involved in that. Lambert can't get back to it. Can the Seahawks pick up the pace again?
If this ends in a draw, they'll go into a 10-minute sudden death overtime period. If it's still tied after that, they'll go into a shootout.
Sudden death, in case that's a term you're not familiar with, means that the first to score, that's it. But the odds at the moment are on a decision by the end of the contest. It's certainly swung the Panthers' way. They thought they'd been hard done by with the goal disallowed. But in fact, the break has enabled them to come back refreshed and to get their game together. Gave Kevin Murphy, their coach, the time to say the right things.
Kevin Murphy is a survivor. He really is a hard nut, and I mean that in the nicest possible way. He's a physical guy. He never stops directing traffic out there. He'll be talking tactics all the time, not just acting as a cheerleader. He knows specifically what he wants each player to do out there.
Four minutes and 21 seconds remaining. Paul Eddy at the face-off. Comes out to Terry Kurtenbach, just whistles it round the balls, chased by Paul Eddy. Morier is there, so is Johnson. Stephen Johnson digs it out. Bounce not too kind for Lambert, who watched it well and denied the puck coming across. Collected by Kurtenbach on the blue line, sticked away. Out now on the left side for Seahawks. We're into the final 4 minutes. Sean Johnson with the shot, the youngest of the three brothers. Down to 80, can't play it out, and here's Bishop with the shot. Down on the near side, shoulder to shoulder. Terry Kurtenbach comes away with it, but not for long. Johnson just wants to hold it in, Anthony Johnson for the face-off. And I think the referee is going to have to blow. He's having a good look, and he has to.
The Finnish referee wanted the play to continue, but the sets of players on the ice want a break. They're going to go through quick changes because the Seahawks throws that against the boards. The face-off comes out into neutral ice territory.
Maybe a name to note for Nottingham Panthers at some future date. Off Ian Young. Comes out Panthers' way. Perkins in possession. Two onto that side. Ashley Tate, very aware of what's around this 17-year-old British player of considerable promise. Webber holds it in. They want it back on the blue line. Odelin with the shot. It's blocked, but it comes out again. And Webber blocked again on the near side. Tate can't get to it, but is on top of the puck. So again we get the whistle for the face-off.
Webber, Tate and Perkins doing a great job. A young British line. Coach Murphy has a lot of confidence in him. He put Tate out earlier on in a power play situation against the big guns for the Seahawks, and he scored a goal. Look at this, buzzing around the net. Webber takes a one-timer. That's blocked and eventually shot away, but no let-up in the pressure from the kids.
Half ball, no team finishing in 7th place in the league has ever made it to the final of the Heineken Championship. That's the position of the Humberside Seahawks. Miscue by Waghorn, gets a second chance, has to hold it up because the puck must pass the blue line first. That lets in Lambert. Shot is fairly way off, but it's an awkward bounce. And Young did seem to be quite oblivious of the fact that it was rolling around his crease. That's the second time in the match, if my memory serves me right.
Young fell asleep on that one. He's got to be more assertive on those. When they come off the backboards, he's got to get the stick out and bat them right back. You can't let them trickle through your crease.
Just a little contretemps between Hunt and Johnson.
The linesmen, Branch and Horner, doing a great job of keeping these two teams apart.
Two minutes and 20 seconds left. 4-4. Waghorn. Up to Odelin. Tries to hold it in and doesn't. Oh, didn't need the touch. Still looking more likely to be Panthers. But not there. It's deep into the crowd. Moria, the first goal for Nottingham Panthers. Dorian with the equaliser. Then Tate, up to then, they were all power play goals. That made it 2-1 to Panthers. Then Johnson from Bishop, 2-all. So that was Stephen Johnson. Anthony Johnson made it 3-2. Dorian 4-2. And then back they've come from 80 and Odelin. 2 minutes to go. Terry Kurtenbach. Bringing it out from the back. Finds Hunt. But not too cleverly. Hunt just down this near side for Steve Moria to chase. Stephen Johnson. One or two looking a bit tired out there. 90 seconds left. And up comes Waghorn to Hunt. They've got 3-on-2. What a good little poke check, little poke of the stick by Bishop. Picked up by Moria. 80 up ahead of him, just didn't quite take it. Dan Dorian, former Panthers player, scored a couple against them in the semi-final. 80. We're into the last minute of the final period. Lambert in possession. Curtain back. Nobody wants to make a mistake. Who wants more to go out to seek the winner? Moria. In goes 80. And still 80!
80 was set up by Moria, tried to do it all himself, and he put it upstairs out of the rink. 35 seconds left on the clock. This guy could have taken the Panthers into the final against Cardiff. Watch this, he gets a burst of steam. The Seahawks are looking very, very tired. Around one man, around two, on the backhand, then the forehand, and that goes up over the plexi. From a different angle, going up against the Johnsons, and then Lambert, as a timeout has just been called, and a little too high for 80. A great individual effort from him.
It was the Seahawks who called it. Their coach, Pete Johnson. He was a runner-up in 83 and a semi-finalist in 84 with Durham.
The Seahawks are very, very tired indeed after this one. They have a reputation of fading at the end of a game, and right now they're looking like a very, very tired team. They look like they've gone through 2 games out there. Will they go the overtime if that happens? I doubt it very much. Right now the Panthers have the momentum. Moria's looking fresh. 80 is flying. Odeline, he's still got his first period legs out there. These guys are looking good.
And you have to say that they were given tremendous support during the long 14-minute break by their supporters. Seahawks tried to respond, but they're not here in such good numbers. That was a surprising shot that was very well and carefully watched. Here's Odeline. We're inside the final 20 seconds. Out in front, and Killen taking absolutely no chances.
Frankie Killen forcing the face-off here, but this could be a dangerous move because Moria is very good at taking the face-offs. If they put Dorian in, Dorian will just try to contain Moria. He won't try to win the face-off, and Moria is very adept at getting it back, and he's got Odeline back there to pass it back to. He can get the shot away. A lot can happen in 14 seconds.
But it's Bishop in possession. And the referee can't see the puck. And it's a face-off on the other side. 7 seconds left. Otherwise, it's sudden death overtime. Hunt to the left of Moria, 80 to the right. Waghorn and Odeline back on the point. It could be switched across to Odeline. Winds up for the shot. Doesn't get too far. 80 tries to battle for it. And the whistle goes, the hooter goes. It's going to be sudden death overtime. Kari Avila, the Finnish referee, drops the puck. And the 9th goal is going to be the decisive one. First to score will be through to the final. And it's loose in front, and Killen has to sit on it.
Big Selmer Odeline was the trailer on this one. The drop pass, he was set free, but Frankie Killen came up with the save. Nerve-wracking time here for goaltenders. They know they can't afford to make a mistake. Everything is vital out there. Once a goal is scored, the game is over.
And it will be really tough on them, because both men between the pipes have played really very well. All the goals have been scored, none that I can remember has been given away. Moria and Stephen Johnson. Now it's going to be Moria against Dan Dorian, and the backhand shot from Simon Hunt wasn't too far away. Waghorn couldn't keep it in on the blue line. They have to come out. The puck has to cross the blue line first, as it does now. Hunt to follow it in, but in fact it was hit from over 2 lines, so it'll be pulled back all the way to the Panthers' end. Who is to be the hero? It was Odlin, who tied it at 4. Paul Adey needs 1 goal for 150. Doesn't matter who gets it, the 1 is going to count. Hunt, just onside, put out. The linesman had to look a bit lively. Here's Graham Waghorn. It's given away by Waghorn. Gets it back again and can breathe again. Here goes Adey, in for Simon Hunt. Steve Moria waiting this side, number 19, gives it back to Hunt. This is a good play and a good stop again. It's still loose, it's bouncing around. Amazingly, it stays out. Bodies all over the place and chipped out of harm's way. Amazing stuff in front of Frank Killen.
How did that puck not go in the net? Bodies flying all over the place. Hunt, a nice pass out front. The Panthers with shots from close in, hitting the side of the net, hitting the goaltender, going off skates, sticks. The loose puck eventually put over the plexi into the crowd. Frankie Killen ducking and diving down there, trying to get back on his feet, cutting down the angle in the corner.
Did a good job then, Frank Killen. Back comes Selma Odlin. Balance still looks Panthers' way, but it only will need 1 breakaway by Seahawks. And it's back at the Panthers' end, just played down the ice to nobody in particular.
The Panthers certainly have the momentum now, and they're keeping Moria out on the ice for this face-off. This is an all-important face-off in the Panthers' zone. The last thing they want is the Seahawks to win it, get it back, and a quick shot from perhaps the top of the circle or the blue line towards the net. Bishop is capable of doing it, so is Lambert. They're back on the blue now.
Comes out the Panthers' way. Terry Curtin back in possession. Hunt forward. Moria looking for the little pass, but that could be costly. Picked up by Sean Johnson, who wasn't too far away. Around by Dan Dorian. Going to be collected by Stephen Johnson. Youngest of the 3 at the back, Sean. Out comes Curtin back, looking very cool. Slightly late challenge by Bishop. No penalty call. And Dan Dorian gets away. Takes on Waghorn. And goes round Waghorn and then is dispossessed by the former Streatham junior. Simon Hunt. Chance the other way for Paul Adey. Moria looking for the drop pass, goes for the shot, gets the rebound himself, Adey. Across the face, and here, brilliant stop! Unbelievable save from Steve Moria. Out come the Seahawks again. Waghorn holds it in though. Simon Hunt, if he can get it on his shooting side, and he can't. At least not to make a shot of any note. Comes out to Waghorn. It's all buzzing in front of Frank Killen, but now a chance of a 2-on-1 break. This is Dorian. No real support except from Bishop. And the big fellow just fires it in, and Ian Young decides that we all need a breather.
Adey and Moria for Nottingham Panthers are really buzzing around that goal at the other end of the rink. Moria had a golden opportunity. Killen again coming up big with a key save in this sudden death overtime period.
We make it that he's had 6 shots on goal. Hasn't been one at the other end. That last one that Young held onto was going away. An indication of the balance of play, which must surely be clear. It's lost at the face-off by Panthers briefly. They get it down to Perkins. Chase on here. Seahawks recover. And here's Johnson. Good play by Curtin back. Helped out by Odlin. Wasn't quite a true pass that Perkins was hoping for and Odlin wanted to deliver. Stephen Johnson. Oh, it's an interception, and McNaught takes his man away. They look at the referee, nothing given. Down to Ashley Tate. He's dispossessed by Sean Johnson. Johnson down the left side. All 3 Johnsons are on. 12 who nearly stole it was Anthony. Lambert holds it in, has to cross the blue line. That was a good save. He didn't get a clear view of that, Ian Young. Kicked away. Long spell again without a whistle. It's dumped in, and Killen didn't know where it was. And then suddenly he woke up to the fact that it was sitting there smiling at him.
8,000 people were trying to tell him where it was. A long shot, should have been a routine save, but Frank Killen, he lifted his stick, it got trapped right under the stick. Watch this. He doesn't know where it is. Look to the right. Whoops, there it is. Look what I found.
Good feel for the losers here. Really has been everything this second semi-final that the first wasn't. Two teams who desperately wanted a place in the final. Young watching carefully the rolling puck. It's picked up by Odelin. Odelin, good passing. Kicked away from Steve Moria's shot. Moria knew where it was going to come to and collects it again. They've got two in front, and Hunt tries to get to it. And again, Frank Killen, playing against one of his old sides, is certainly keeping the Humberside Seahawks in the reckoning.
The strategy here is simple. Shoot on goal from any angle, from any position. Moria tries to put it through a crowd, hoping perhaps for a screen shot, maybe a deflection. But Frank Killen has something to say about it. He goes down and eventually puts the glove on the puck.
Again, Moria on for the face-off. And he wins it again. And this is Terry Kurtenbach. They keep it in. 80 just screws it round with a stick. And Waghorn keeps it in too. They're under real pressure, the Humberside Seahawks. Simon Hunt winds up for the shot. Came off Bishop. And we're under 6 minutes of the overtime remaining. And Dorian thought he'd got away, looked at the referee unimpressed. It's got to be a really good penalty call, should one come. Kurtenbach, 80 behind him. Collects now, Moria far side. And again it bounces around. Killen thought he was pushing that away behind his goal, and it suddenly came back and was in front of it.
His timing was slightly off with the blocker. This is a bit of a blooper, this shot, and sometimes they're deceiving. They come a lot slower than they look. He puts the glove out and brings it right in front of him instead of tipping it behind the net.
10-1 the shots tally now. 5:26 remaining of overtime.
Barry, one of the reasons the Seahawks are having so many problems in their own zone is that when Dorian is out there, he's not in the zone. He's cruising in the neutral zone, waiting for the quick pass at the red line and the breakdown to score the goal. That's not helping them defensively. If he scores the goal, he'll be a hero, though.
Back to Randall Webber. McNaught and 80. And it comes over the head of Kurtenbach. But they're still calling all the shots, the Panthers. But as you implied there, one breakaway, particularly if it's Dan Dorian. That could be a good night, Nottingham. Now they're getting a few more men forwards. Johnson was hopeful that he would get it, and he does. And we're into the second half of overtime. 5 minutes left. Oh, that wasn't too far away from McNaught. 80 trying to get round, and does. Moria up. This is promising. That's a good save. Is he going to go in? Oh, my goodness me. It's a charmed life for the Seahawks goal.
Moria let a shot go that almost tore the goaltender apart. He gets a glove out there, just can't stop it. It was so fast, and everyone piles into the crease to clear that one away. Some great stuff from Moria to let the shot go. Killen really did get a piece of it to slow it down, but that's all he could do. Trickling back through the crease. Lambert gets in there, and eventually it's cleared away.
4:41 remaining. Kevin Murphy still keeping Steve Moria on the ice. He's asking a lot for a man who's been out of top hockey until he was called in to replace the injured Great Britain captain, Chris Kelland. Here's Kurtenbach. Comes down to Lambert for the Seahawks. Johnson's still very much alive, and here's Dan Dorian. Anthony and Stephen up with him. But he hasn't got the puck anymore. Carried a little bit by Tate, but not too much, says the referee. Looking to Dorian again. And it comes out to Johnson, and here is Dorian, who's cruising around in the hope that he might pick up the right fare. Remaining of overtime now. Down the ice, intended for the stick of Moria, but icing is called.
Dan Dorian is getting a rough ride out there. Every time he touches the puck, there's a Nottingham Panther player climbing all over him. I think both teams know that it's a brave referee who's going to call a penalty at this stage. They're going to let most things go. Dan Dorian here, curtain back, stays with him, takes a swipe, brings him down. I have a feeling during the game that would have been a penalty. The Finnish referee is letting it go here because it's so close.
Dorian taking a breather. And it comes out Panthers' way again, and Waghorn living a little dangerously in front of his own goal. Taken down by 80. Simon Hunt for supports, and the follow-up, 2 good saves again by Killen.
Killen perhaps a little guilty here of allowing the rebound to come out on the first shot. This one should have been directed behind the net or contained. He got the pad down, the backhander comes in, and he's fortunate to get the glove on it.
Interesting again, going just that little touch early. But we're really nitpicking, aren't we? Because he's had a really superb game.
He must be very, very tired indeed, as are the rest of the players out on the ice.
Is there to be a decider? 3:39 left. Dorian not off for too long. Paul Simpson. They haven't got it out of their defensive end. They have now, and they've got a 2-on-1 all of a sudden. Dorian, and they've got the winner. Dorian is the supplier, not the scorer. The man who scored it is Kevin McNaught. McNaught has taken the Humberside Seahawks through to the Heineken Championship final. The outsiders, when they came to Wembley, have made it to take on the favourites. Pete Johnson getting all the congratulations. You have to have sympathy for the losers, but well done, Humberside Seahawks.
There are no losers in this game, Barry. Both teams put on a sterling performance out there. All the pressure was going against the Seahawks, and it was just a matter of time before a puck bounced the Seahawks' way and they got a break. We said that they had Dorian cruising in the neutral ice territory, waiting for that opportunity to set it up, and he did. McNaught broke down, had a breakaway. Dorian, as you said, was the provider. Odlin is the only man back. The pass is put through the stick and the skates. The big GB player who speaks with a Canadian accent says, "I'm going on the backhand side. That's the winning goal. See you in the final."
And the final score, won in overtime by Humberside Seahawks 5, Nottingham Panthers 4.